We back at it again. Culture's hot topic. You know the vibes. New York. Where you from, buddy?
Wisconsin, yeah. You're not.
Wisconsin. We back at it again, reacting to Kevin Samuels this time. Usually it's more people in the lobby, but this time, we got two of the brothers. What we are reacting to is Kevin Samuels' What If? How would I live as a young man today? So if you like the video, hit a like, subscribe, hit the comment section down below. Tell us ideas and what y'all think. Ask questions. Look, we're gonna start bringing more people onto these talks, and we're here for everybody. We're here to talk about it. That's what it is. Like I said, if y'all like it, make sure you do what you're supposed to do, because we're here for you. The more support we get, the more we're gonna do it. Let's get into it. My son is professional though, no cap. My son is professional.
Yeah. That's the best
Get the smooth jams on there.
What's going on? What's going on? Hey! We're back. Shout out to the CI. Hey! One love to the F. D. I. Let's get it. Let's do it. Get with it. Step to it. Come on. Come on. Come on. Life before, life after. Never be the same. I know y'all having a good Thanksgiving. Today I decided to go for a twofer. One is called Ood for Greatness for Thanksgiving. All right, so here it is. Here it is, here it is, here it is. Bam! And you say, God damn, this is a dope jam. Is everything good? Let's see what's going on in the chat room. Appreciate it. Because let's bring up the lights a little bit more. Because I will tell you this. It's hard out there for a young man. So in the description, it says, if I was between the ages of 21 and 35, how differently would I live in these modern times? So, some background information, when I use the term Henry is a term that means high earner, not rich yet. For the sake of this conversation, we're talking about anywhere from about $75,000 to $90,000 a year. In the grand scheme of things, Henry's really over $200,000, but that's not really what you need. We're talking about if you're making three times your age. So let's say you're a guy who's 30 years old and you're making $90,000 living in Atlanta. You are a Henry status, brother. Let's say you're not officially a Henry yet, but you're a Henry in training. Let's say you're in college. You just got out of college. You have your degree in computer science or something. I don't know. You're a truck driver. Bottom line, you're on the way. You're what I call a hit squad. Henry in training. So between 21 and 35 is what I want to focus on right now. All right. So, if you want to answer a question, throw it in the super chat because it's things are moving a little bit quick over here. And I want to get into it, and I'm also depending upon how you guys are contributing and stuff. will determine whether or not I open the panel. I want to say this though. I have been getting more emails and messages talking about how different Thanksgiving is this year versus every previous year. I think this is one of the first years a lot of guys were looking forward to going home for Thanksgiving and sitting down at the table. I mean, guys are like came and said they brought like talking points. Like, so,
He
Auntie,
said start off with the soul.
have you heard of this
So
guy named Kevin Samuels? Oh my God, people are losing their minds, and that is a. And here's the thing: good for you guys. Have the conversation. All right, all right. Let's get into it. First of all, a quick overview. I talked about it the other night when the audio was going in and out. I need you guys to focus. I'm going to actually make a video about this, but there are roughly three masculine archetypes. There's the refined, there's the rakish, and then there's the rugged. Okay? And I don't want to belabor that too much, but most men, the majority of men fall into one of these archetypes. I fall into the refined archetype. And let me read some of this stuff off too, since we want to get into it. Refined, masculine, masculine archetype. Understand where you understanding where you fall is important as well. Refined.
I got something to say. Um, would you consider yourself a Henry yet? Or are you a Henry in training?
I would say I'm a Henry in training.
Henry in training. Yeah, I'm a Henry in training too. Um, and I think that what keeps us motivated is that it's the end result, it's the end goal that's gonna keep us going. If you keep your mind on the end goal, I feel like they'll keep us going. And the little small stuff that we run into now, it'll be for a reason because we made it to where we really want to be.
Yeah, I say I'm a Henry in training because I've uh, I've had the opportunity to bring in probably 2 to 3 times my age if I would have stuck to where I was at. But now also with me being in my 20s and also in college for a degree that will earn me really decent 6 figures. So I guess it's safe to say I am a Henry, and I also I have my mentors and everything I go to. You know what I mean? That are Henrys right now. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I have my Henry mentors. So yeah, I would like to say I'm a Henry in training.
Mm-hmm. I've been in business meetings. When I was in college, I done met people who making 4, 5, 6 times their age. You know what I'm saying? So like I have the experience. With talking in many different you know types of atmospheres. You know, um, yeah, I stand out, but I know how to make myself known and have that sit down and have that conversation where things need to be had, and make things be heard and be able to negotiate and be in business deals. I've been in business conversation, business meetings. I've been in a lot of places. So far, I'm doing pretty good, but it's not where I want to be. So we're gonna keep on going to get there.
Exactly.
People aren't telling you to do what they told my generation to do. They told us to rush out and buy homes in our 20s. And I'm glad that I didn't do that because so many people got stuck. See, as a young man, you need to be flexible. You need to be able to move to where the opportunity is because the world is changing. If you're living in New York City, in New York City's hot, let's say, well, when the .com explosion happened, what is the thing? The show on HBO, Silicon Valley. You need to be able to be there. or the Silicon Valley of the South, Austin, to take advantage of all of that investment capital, all these other things, all the connections, the energy, and everything else. You really aren't going to be able to take advantage of stuff like Silicon Valley living in Denver. You need to be living in it. Case in point, Oklahoma, I moved to here, to Atlanta. Atlanta opens up all kind of things by being geographic. So I would worry, once you get your image together, understand what that is,
Yes, sir.
then
Yes,
your
sir.
where you live, your geography.
That's true. And
Yep.
I say that it's true because I've done it, right? Like yes, I'm from Wisconsin. I moved to Cali for a brief moment, and I made my money there, and I met, I met some rich people, and the thing is, that's the reason why I don't want to have anything tied to me here in my state, right? I can easily, you know, get a place of my own here, you know what I mean? But the thing is, I want to move again back to California permanently or Arizona, and and to live in it because as you know, they don't know, but guys, my major is a software engineer. You know what I mean? So for to make the most money or to really have the most opportunity, I can't be here in Wisconsin. I mean, I can. There's a place here that I can go and get an internship, but the real big countries, the really big tech companies, they're all in what, California. They're all over there. It's like you gotta be able to like get up and move. You gotta be comfortable with being uncomfortable. You gotta be comfortable with getting up and be like, okay, I gotta make something happen. I gotta get out of my comfort zone. I gotta, and it ain't gonna happen here. You know what I mean? Like it can, but you have just like almost double the amount of chance opportunity just by being the right place in the right time. You got way more opportunity than sitting at home and hoping it happens. You gotta go out and get it because it's not gonna come easy. You know what I mean? So I 100% believe you gotta be able to be flexible. But I don't think that's the reason not to buy a house. I don't think that's the reason not to buy a house. No.
I feel like what he's trying to say is like you gotta have the capital before you go on to make a big move like that. You
Yeah,
know what
but
I'm
the
saying? You
thing
gotta
is,
have the
like, I have
capital.
friends in real estate, right? So right now, if you buy into real estate young, right, you don't have. The
You
thing is,
can't even buy it
the
right now
the
because
first
it's fucked
the
up right
first
now.
house I buy is not the house I'm gonna be living in. You know what I mean? That's not my
Right.
forever home.
That's a
And
fact.
I think that's what he's saying. The first, even if you do buy a house right now, make it an investment property. Don't make it a house that you intend on living out your days in. You know what I mean? And then your career path doesn't support where you live. You know,
Mhm.
the house, at least the first house I'm buying, is investment property. You know what I mean? And once you finally settle out of college or you finally in your career, then you look for the house. Then you look for your dream house after you already found your career and after you're in it. Then you should looking for your house that you want to live in the state that most people in your career live in. You know what I mean? Like
So,
you should
so,
look for
so
your house
plan it out
later.
correctly. So plan it
No,
out
yeah,
correctly.
yeah. You want to plan it out. Don't rush into shit because the older generation says, "Oh, when I was your age, I had a house. Me and your mom, me and your grandmother had a house. We bought a house when we were 19." You know what I mean?
It's
But look where
different
the
though.
house
It's
is at
different
now.
back
The
then.
house is in a rundown neighborhood. You know what I mean? And your house isn't worth anything. It was nice when you bought it, but
Hmm.
now the neighborhood's been overturned over time, right? And guess what? Now the house isn't worth anything because you bought the house when you were 19, and now you wish that you wouldn't have bought it because it's not worth anything, and now the neighborhood has got trashed over the last 20, 30 years. You know? All because you were rushed into buying a house. You know what I mean? You should you should wait it out, whatever, and see whatever your career path is, and then choose a house based on where your career thrives at. If your career is software, you should probably be in California. If if your career is, you know, fashion or whatever, then you should be in New York. You know what I mean? Like,
So you're saying don't.
use
First one's
your
first.
location.
You're saying like don't get comfortable. Get comfortable with being uncomfortable. Secondly,
Right.
plan out your next steps. Thirdly, wait for the right moment to make a business move because you want to make sure you're not messing yourself up. And lastly, put that talk into action and actually make it happen. Does that sound about
Exactly.
right?
Yeah. So that sounds. That's exactly what it is. You know what I mean? Like, you gotta be able to. You gotta be able to stick and move. You know what I mean? You gotta be able to. You know, to get out there. Not be like, oh, I have this house here. I can't move. You know, I should be in Silicon. I should be in San Diego or whatever. My career would do much better over there, but I'm tied in this house. You know what I mean? That's why, like, don't let people make you feel uncomfortable because you live with your parents still, or you know what I mean, or you're like not you're in some small apartment and you don't want to have much, you don't want to tie anything to you, you don't want to own anything. Don't let people um what's the word I'm using? Don't let people rush your process, right? You know what your process is, you know what your end goal is. As long as you know where you're trying to get to and you know how you want to do it, don't let nobody tell you what they did by this age or that age. That don't matter. Your process is your process. How you do it is how you do it. When you get there is when you get there. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Don't let somebody else say, "Oh, I bought my house at 19. Why you ain't have a house yet?" No, because I don't want one. You know what I mean?
So I'm
I don't want
22.
one just yet.
You're Rico. You're 26.
I'm 20. I'll be 25 next month. I'm
You'll be
24 right
25
now.
next month. And you, Fly. How old are you, bro?
35.
35. So what is some of your takes on this? Like buying a house or just some things in general.
Um, well, don't do it if you ain't ready. You know what I'm saying? I just got in here, so I missed a lot. But um, as far as buying a house, that is not like he say. Your first house, that's the test run. That should not be where you plan on living your old days out. No, because you're not even gonna know how to handle that. Being the being that as if you apartments, you can get the maintenance to come fix your shit. You gotta do all that shit for yourself, all the repair, mortgage, and all that. It's a whole different ball game. It's a whole different ball game. So um, you definitely gotta be ready. You definitely gotta be ready. I'm not even ready. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
But it is what it is. But you just gotta plan your steps ahead, man. You know what I'm saying? Get a house, all right? If you feel like you're able to start purchasing a house, hell yeah, purchase that motherfucker and get ready to sell it though. You know what I mean? That way, you get some experience in owning a home, dealing with everything that comes with it, and then for your next house, you ready. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if that's a question, but that's my take.
So so tell me if I'm wrong. So you're saying make sure it's the right time for you. When it's the right time for you, right? Then you put the words into action. The first house might not be the best house, but that's the trial run. There's a bigger picture.
Yep.
Lastly, your next house should be the next step to your success, whether you choose to stay in it or go on to the next one. But build it like that in four. Okay, okay. Yo, Rico, 1 second, 1 second. Let me get you right. Go ahead, bro. Go ahead, Rico.
My bad. Your first house not even supposed to even be the best. The thing about houses is, right, is the direct opposite, right? You don't go buy the nicest one, right? Because when the nicest one has already been done, the money has already been made on that house. You know what I mean? You don't even go buy the nicest house. You go buy a fixer upper, and you
Yep.
get your hands dirty, and you make it. You make the profit out of the house just by you getting your hands dirty and you getting the house as ready to sell. And that is so that way when the house is already done, you know what I mean? Once it's done and remodeled and you've done it with your own hands, for one, you learned a new skill. You learn a new skill. You learn how to get your hands dirty and get a house ready, right? And and now you get to 5 years down the road, right? 5 or so years down the road, if 10 years even, now the house is worth a little bit more than what you pay for it, right? Because houses go up every year. Now, depending on where you live, it might go up slower than others or faster than others. But houses go up every year, right? Because I was taught this by a friend that's in real estate, So
It happens like seasons, up and down, up and down.
houses don't really go down. I mean, the only reason why houses went down right now because when quarantine happened, pandemic, nobody wanted to really buy a house and stuff like that. So that was really the first time.
Too.
But houses is a solid investment, right? Regardless of what time it is. But when you sell that house, you can have that house refinance. You know what I mean? You can refinance it, pull your initial down payment out the house. Once you're ready to sell it, you know what I mean? You pull your initial down payment out of the house, have the house refinance. Now it's worth more than what you pay for it, right? So now you can get that money back and put it down in your next house. You know what I mean? Now you went to your first house for nothing. You rent that house out. Now you can go buy the next one, and this is how you start your real estate portfolio, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the nice thing about real estate is it don't take a lot of money to own a house, especially with all the homeowner programs and stuff like that. It don't take a lot of money to own a house. But I say don't do it unless you know for one this is where you're going to stick in. This is an area, this is a state that you're going to stick around in because you have to be present. You're not a big real estate company yet that you can live out of state and move. You know what I mean? Make sure where you buy a house at is where you plan on living, and make sure you're ready for it. Like he said, a mortgage, all repairs, even stuff that's even unforeseen. You might have septic tank problems. You gotta know things about houses before you buy a house. You can be buying a house that's complete unrepairable, condemned, and now you're in over your head because you let somebody pressure you into getting a home. Be comfortable within your process. You know what I mean? If you want to get a house, cool. Hell yeah. But just remember why you buy the house for your own reasons, not because somebody says that's what they did by their generation. Their generation is different than this generation. The money and worth is different than ours. You know what I mean? Their struggles was different than the struggles we're trying to go through. Do things on your own terms.
Yeah, that's a fact. So like you'll be surprised the deals you can get, and you'll be surprised with the littlest amount of difference can make a big difference to somebody else. It don't matter what it is. The small, like even you changing a couch to a different location within the house, that makes the biggest difference to somebody else. So what he's saying is that you find what you need, you build it up to where you want to be, and you make small changes that make it look presentable to everybody else. Because the smallest changes, can make the biggest difference. And it wouldn't be too hard to to get started. But make sure you're ready, and whatever your plan is, make sure you plan it out correctly, and make sure you have a little extra saved up, so just in case if stuff happens that you never expected to. That's how you want to go about it.
Geography determines a lot. Geography determines a lot. Now, once you're there, you're working. And you know what I think, gentlemen? You got a full-time job and a part-time job. Your full-time job is how you're living, paying your bills, saving and investing for the future. Your part-time job is how you're investing in your most valuable asset, you. This is where you're investing in your skills to get you compensated. This is where you actually pay for coaching, personal development, self-improvement. Your full-time job pays for your core skill sets. Your part-time job pays for your soft skill sets or your EQ. And it's the EQ, the network. That is what's going to help you expand exponentially. Because if I were a young man today, there is no way in hell I would be living in this world alone. You need to find your wolf pack. And that's 3 to 5 men that live in the same place that you do, work in similar industries, that when one gets promoted, he opens the door for another. I'm telling you guys what I did, Mike, because So many young men fail because you're trying to do everything by yourself. You need to be a part of a group, a network. If you're an attorney, you need to be hanging out with an accountant, a physician, a dentist, somebody, a couple of entrepreneurs, and somebody who's good in finance and real estate. You need to think of these as little. Think of being a Henry or a Henry Clay being a big fraternity, and then when you're on your own campus, you need your little chapter. Your chapter is your guys. Your guys are the guys that have the ability to level set you and check you. Because the biggest thing that can throw you off at today is getting out here messing with women. Because today, in a heavily connected world, Plenty of Fish, Bumble, Tinder, hookup economy, swipe left, swipe right, whatever, that is the thing that throws us men off more than anything else. Getting involved with women. So between 21 and 30, I would not be spending any more than about 7% of my time dealing with women. 7%.